when I went to Arusha and I got into the national parks, I was so surprised when I saw there are actually some small villages within the national parks. Why can't the government just decide to evict those kind of people and find them other places to live?
Where did you see villages? Where specifically? Can you mention where? In which national park?
I think it was Ngorongoro.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, coming to that, now I need to educate that part.
yeah,
Ngorongoro is not a national park.
okay.
Ngorongoro is a conservation area. So inside now, when I was telling you like you're not supposed to do any other thing in a national park, that when you went to Serengeti, are there villages in Serengeti? No. So in a national park, you can't have villages. The only economic activity that people can do there is tourism.
Okay.
But then when you go to conservation areas,
Yeah.
such as Ngorongoro Conservation Area, you would find people coexisting with wild animals while they're doing their normal activities inside the conservation area. Now that's the difference between conservation area and a national park.
Okay.
So I don't want you to post tomorrow that you're in Ngorongoro and you say, I'm in Ngorongoro National Park. Yeah. So Ngorongoro is not a national park. It's a conservation area, and those people, they are natives in that area. Yeah. They originated from Serengeti, because even Serengeti itself is a Maasai word that means endless plains. It's pronounced Siringit in Maasai. So they originated in the Serengeti, and since they wanted Serengeti to be a national park, they decided to move them into Ngorongoro, and that's where they reside until today. Yeah. But they also benefit from Ngorongoro, being in Ngorongoro, because they also get to do like culture tourism. People get to experience the culture of the Maasai, and they sell their beads and stuff, and they get a little something from that. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was actually today years old knowing that Ngorongoro is not a national park. I always call it Ngorongoro National Park, so I guess we get to learn every single day. When I was in Arusha, I learned about one concept called sustainable tourism, and a lot of people I've seen they are trying to practice that. So, you as a journalist, how can your profession of journalism contribute to promoting that sustainable tourism, and how important it is?
Well, sustainable tourism is very important
Okay.
because it allows these areas to exist for a very long time,
Okay.
that the future generation will be able to benefit as well from these areas.
Yeah.
And Tanzania, I would say, has been one of the pioneers in sustainable tourism.
Okay.
There's a number of cars that are supposed to be in a national park.
Yeah.
If you reach that limit, don't allow people to go to that specific national park, because you're gonna destroy some things, maybe trees or something like that. There are specific roads for game viewing. If you go off-road, there are species, even micro living organism, that you're gonna destroy just because you decided to off-road.
Yeah.
There are companies nowadays, they've decided that we are going to create our own bottles and give them to tourists, so that when they go into national parks, they won't pollute. Tanapa themselves, they even have a policy: trash in, trash out. You wouldn't even find dustbins. You come with your stuff, your trash, in the national park, you go back with it back to Arusha. Don't leave it in the national park. So I think as a journalist,
Yeah.
my main role is to inform the public
Yeah.
and to promote that they don't pollute these areas.
Yeah.
And the fact that so many people are watching, we set the agenda as the media.
Yeah.
And wanasema kidole kimoja hakivunji chawa. Not only me, but I also advise other medias and other journalists to promote sustainable tourism, because we, as much as we benefit from tourism, from these areas, if we don't conserve them, they're gonna go away.
That's great. You know, traveling is good, and also traveling can be somehow dangerous, because I love traveling myself, and I've basically gone to over 20 countries. So yeah, so I've faced a lot of difficulties because most of the times I always travel alone, like from being robbed, from almost being beaten by ladyboys, let's say in in Malaysia. So there are a lot of challenges. I was almost robbed. I was not almost robbed. I was robbed at a gunpoint in Johannesburg. Yeah, those are challenges that I have faced when traveling. Although traveling is good, but you can also face those kinds of challenges. So, what has your experience traveling been like? Have you ever faced any challenge that was so big, and how did you face it?
Well, I've never really had challenges apart from like when we're like shooting, animals charging, and then you have to run back to the car. But I've never really had a very bad experience. But I would say one thing, but I took myself there. One thing that was really challenging to me was climbing Mount Meru. I took on a challenge back in 2022 to climb Mount Meru, which is the second tallest mountain in Tanzania, the eighth in Africa. So there was a point I was like, what am I even doing here? Like, why did I even come? And going back, I remember like when I was descending the mountain, I was descending in all styles, backwards, sideways. I was just walking all different styles. And I remember I couldn't walk for like 2 days. Yeah. And then slowly, I started walking. My fingers were numb for about 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that's the only challenge, but I've never like really had big challenges when traveling. Yeah.
You climbed Mount Meru. Did you reach the top?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I reached the last stop, which was Little Meru.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Kilimanjaro? Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it, but I would love to try.
So